Hello there! The Canadian television industry is a funny thing in the sense that when it doesn't get a major American network, they just create their own equivalent that meets the broadcasting standards. Instead of Nickelodeon, there's YTV. Instead of Disney Channel, there's Family Channel. And rather than bringing over Cartoon Network, the channel Teletoon was created in 1997 so Canada can have its own 24-hour animation destination. And it's a very good channel. Launched in September of 1997, Teletoon had a similar mission statement as Cartoon Network, as it showed only animated series, old and new, aimed at various demographics. Under CRTC regulations, all Canadian networks must have at least 60% local content, which led to a good boost of production at such animation studios like DiC, CNR, and my personal favorite, Nelvana. So in addition to importing popular international shows, local shows also were given plenty of airtime. The bumpers you see here were also fantastically done, showing some great stop-motion creativity on their part. In between the programs, they would also show shorts from the National Film Board, which was an excellent way of showcasing the talented work of their artists. I must have seen The Cat Came Back multiple times in the late 90s. Unfortunately, they don't air the NFB shorts on the channel anymore. One of the star shows on the network was Ned's Newt, a very funny story about a young boy who buys a newt who transforms into a superpowered comedian thanks to a special pet food. I always made a point to try and watch this series, and it's one of the best that were created for the Teletoon lineup, and one of Nelvana's strongest titles. Following the footsteps of the adaptations of European literature like The Adventures of Tintin and Barbara the Elephant, Nelvana also made a successful show inspired by the Swedish Pippi Longstocking books. One of the other major series on the network was the classic cult show The Raccoons. Created by Kevin Gillis, it has a longevity that allows it to keep holding up. Teletoon's collaboration with CNR also brought us notable shows like Paddington Bear and Albert the Fifth Musketeer. This being the Canadian equivalent to Cartoon Network, a lot of that channel's original programming was also shown on Teletoon, like Johnny Bravo, Cow Chicken, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Though oddly enough, Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls were aired on rival network YTV. That said, both networks are now owned by the same parent company. Meanwhile, later in the evening, they would show adult programming like Duckman and Dilbert. Now, while this was a regular part of most networks, for some reason Teletoon was where I most recall seeing them. They didn't bother me so much back then, but looking back, they were pretty silly.
Hey, what you watching? Me? I'm just a TV. I mean, I'm not even human. You've got the remote control. You can change channels if you don't like what you're watching. You can flick me on and off, and do... Whoa, I'm getting dizzy.
Public service announcements like this one are well-intentioned, but look really funny when seen through adult eyes. If the television started talking directly to me, I wouldn't go outside and play. I would start a full conversation with it. Of course, as all science fiction has taught us, the television says we'll probably turn rogue and try and kill the human race. That's what you get for watching so much reality television.
You have choices. You've got books and sports, and you can go outside and play. Where is outside, anyway? I'm just the TV. You're the smart one. Well, so long. See you next time.
And of course, there were always the classics like Bugs Bunny and the Jetsons. The schedule was fantastic, and of course, it kept evolving. Over the years, they've slowly added live-action productions to the schedule. I think I saw Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin on the channel once. A couple years ago, they started Teletoon Retro, which started playing classic cartoons, and that's now become my default network I always go to when I switch on the television. They even played Wacko's Wish recently, which earned it bonus points in my book, as it's always great to see Animaniacs on television again. Recently, they've also made the jump to producing Flash animated series, with Splice being the most creative of the bunch. Of the upcoming shows, I actually have a very good feeling about Camp Lake Bottom. In conclusion, Teletoon may not have the worldwide distribution of, say, Cartoon Network. It's proven to be a fun network, with its heart still the intent of showing animation. However, now that we've shown Wacko's Wish a couple times, can you please start showing Animaniacs again, even if just on the Retro Network? Something to think about. See you next time.
The pet store owner knew what to do. Give the boy a can of simple health food. Ned's Noots, he's so humongous. Ned's Noots, very precocious. Ned's Noots, he's where the fun is at. Ned's Noots, he's enormous, baby.